You're listening to World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world. And here are your hosts, Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
My name is Ahonu, and on behalf of Aingeal Rose, welcome to this brief session of the World of Empowerment podcast. Today is Judgment Day. Yeah, today is Judgment Day. Why do I say that? Because of the judgments that we make all day, every day about ourselves and others. And let me give you a few examples. There's a story told of a man who was travelling on a train with his 24-year-old son. And the son was behaving like a child in that he was saying things like, "Dad, the trees are going so fast behind us." And he'd say things like, Dad, look at the clouds. They're moving so fast." And some people who were sitting opposite leaned across and gently said to the father, "Why don't you take your son to a good doctor?" And the father leaned over and ever so politely said, "I just did. We're coming from the eye doctor, and today is the first day my son is able to see since birth." Now, I've got many stories like that, and indeed many times where I've made judgments myself. And one in particular that I remember was where I was bringing a bunch of American visitors to see Wicklow Jail in Ireland from the time of the 1921 Civil War. And my grandfather had been kept there for a period of about 9 months. And during that period of time, my grandfather had carved a chessboard into the hard wooden bed which they were forced to sleep on. And apparently it turned out to be quite a tourist attraction over the years. And we had heard about it, but had never seen it. So we arrived with our group of American visitors. And I didn't know where exactly to go. It was newly opened to the public. And I saw a guy sweeping the stones from the path onto the stony area outside. And I passed the remark to my visitors that we'll ask this sweeper guy in a kind of a disparaging way about where to go and what to do and so on. And I told him, this young man, I told him that there was an object in cell 19 that we were particularly interested in, that it was the carving of a chessboard. And he turned around and he said, "Oh, you must be an O'Grady." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I'm an O'Grady too." Turns out that he was a distant cousin of ours. And it was a joyful reunion. It turned out also that he was the manager of the jail, and he took us around that jail and showed us into places that the public would never normally see. And I felt very small, how I had made a judgment in that time, and in a way also trying to impress others at the expense of this young man. So we make these kinds of judgments every day. And I'm not talking about intuition, and I'm not talking about instinct. So let's be careful here. If you're on the Serengeti plains and a lion is running towards you, you're going to make a judgment pretty quick about where to go, what to do. That's instinct. I'm talking about judgments, the judgments that we make every day about ourselves and about others. And we make these judgments not knowing the full picture. Like that old saying about to get to know somebody, walk a mile in their shoes. That's why I believe every day is Judgment Day. So let's not wait until some mystical thing happens in the sky that says, "Oh, Judgment Day has arrived." No, it's here. Every day is the opportunity for us to reconcile these issues within ourselves. So, on this great Judgment Day, blessings from myself, Ahonu, and from Aingeal Rose.
You have been listening to Aingeal Rose and Ahonu on World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world.